Hello, everyone. It's always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot, woot. Hi, everyone. This is Julie from Patchworks, and I am so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV tonight here at Patchworks. It is Thursday, July 24th, 2025, and we are here in the studio in Elm Grove, and Frank is here today. Woot, woot. We might even be able to convince him to come on and, help show some panels or something. He'll be helping keeping track to make sure that technically that we don't lose connections and all that good stuff. Make sure to say hello, share, like. Ooh, I see people from Facebook. I see people from YouTube. Hello, hello. Hi, Barb. Happy Thursday, Chris, Pat, Sherry, Darlene, Marilyn, Margaret, Kathy. Ooh, and we have Kasha from Colorado. Yay. So I'm so happy that we are all around the globe here. So we have so much fun things to show you tonight. Sorry we missed you last week. Summer's been crazy busy, and we didn't really have anything come last week, which was kind of weird. Well, we did on Friday, but not for the show on Thursday. So we have a few things to show you. And I'm also super excited because we're waiting on like a lot of stuff. I think like truckloads, right, Frank? Truckloads of things. Super exciting. So we're making sure that all the stuff gets in. Oh, Frank, you have a hi, Frank. How exciting is that? All right. So let me make our bottom screen go on, or bottom little caption go so we don't go crazy. There we go. And we are going to start today with our bundle of the week that we shared last week when I wasn't live, but I know a lot of you didn't get to see that, so I just wanted to share it with you. I think we have 6 left, which is super exciting, and it's super fun, and it also showcases some of the brand new fabrics that we got in the sale room. Woot woot. So, bundle of the week is Christmas of July, and it is showcasing this Dan DePaolo print. So Dan DePaolo is a designer. He has his fabric printed by Clothworks, and he is a Wisconsin designer. So a lot of his things are a little bit more vintagey, and I just thought this was super fun. We have this rustic kind of like barn board, share the joy of Christmas, and the Santa in here is super cute. This line was Better Not Pout. It came out a few years ago, so we scooped up some remaining bolts from the Clothworks warehouse, and I think this one and maybe this one and this one were from the collection, and we thought, this would be a great starting point for a bundle of the week. So then we added in some other fabulous finds, including these greens, some other creams, and then some reds. So super fun, kind of eclectic. And if you haven't watched for a few weeks, I want to remind you that we now have a new show page. What? Oh, that is so exciting. So we have a page set up on our website for every single show that we do, so that it's super easy to shop during the show or after the show or whatever, and follow along for what we're going to show you. So I have a QR code at the top of the screen. However, I have here a link for you. There we go. A link for you that you can shop that as well. So, and then that stays up. We took down our June shows. I need to figure out a page for a catalog for all of our past content so that we'll be able to easily look back we started this process in the middle of June, so anything before that would have been the old way, but moving forward, we do have a page for every show. So, oh, and I'm so happy that Debbie couldn't find us over on Facebook, so you hopped over here, and so nice to see all of you joining in. Make sure to like and share us so that we can have a giant watch party. All right, so we will look at our bundle of the week again at the end of our program, but I just wanted to share that with you, that we have one here, very limited quantity. So let's see, what else do we have for you? Well, I'm pretty excited about what is hanging behind me. Isn't that kind of fun? So this is one of our cheater panels that comes from the manufacturer. So this is from Moda, and we just have gotten in 3-2-1 Blastoff. Well, kind of, most of it. We're still going to get some more, but we're going to talk about what we do have, and we're going to look at the collection, and then we're going to look at some amazing things you can do with it. And this is one of those from Stacy Issue that has those really cool panels that you can do some fun stuff with. Oh my gosh. So this panel is just going to blow out of here. But let's take a peek at the fabrics first, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do with it. And we are missing one piece that is in transit. It left the Moda warehouse, I think, on Monday, Frank? Did it leave on Monday? Oh, it's going to be here next week. So it's going to come on Monday when we're closed. So it'll be here on Tuesday, and then we'll be able to round out our fat quarter bundles and make some kits and do all sorts of fun stuff. But let's talk about this fabric. So there are 20, well, 19 right now, but there will be 20 beautiful fabrics in this collection. So super sweet and short. 3, 2, 1, blast off. You have some blenders here. So this is a white on ecru, star, and splatter. This is what the design is. We have some constellations. So we have a red sky. A red sky might be kind of creepy, but you know, it's really fun coloring for kids quilt. And these designs are a little retro, which are super fun. So we have some space robots here. And so doesn't that look like Rosie from the Jetsons? I think that looks like Rosie. So, but it probably can't be Rosie because then there'd have to be like some royalties or something paid. And then we have some spaceships. And then this kind of tonal that has old style computer screens or dashboards or whatever. Our nice blender. This. And then we have another rocket. I think that might be my favorite color of it. Stars, constellations, robot people, stars. Oh, maybe this one's my favorite. I don't know. So cool. Blastoff. This by for sure is my favorite constellation. And then we have the robot man and Rosie right here. So what are we missing? The missing piece is this print in this color. So that is coming, so we'll be able to round out and do stuff with that. Now, here is the best part of the whole collection. Are you ready for it? I'm ready for it. So the best part of this collection is this panel. Oh, we have a group watching from retreat. Woot, woot, woot. Have fun, everyone. All right, so this panel here, and then I'll show you a picture of how this is made up. So this is a backpack, okay? So we have a backpack here. Can we see this kind of, sort of? So this is a 58-inch wide piece of fabric that's a yard. So we have the little spaceman stuffy, and then we're going to make a backpack, and we're making a backpack with this guy here, and then the weird red stuff at the bottom, those are going to be flames. Okay, so let's take a picture or look at what the picture looks like when you put it all together. Okay, super cool. So the picture is right here. Isn't that cool? So you have the little wings of the spaceship there, you have the flames, and then you have the little space guy, and you have the fabric in there to make the fabric strips. Of course, if you had wanted to, you could use webbing or something, and then you also could use fancy hardware on there if you had wanted to do that as well. Otherwise, you can absolutely just make the tote with the panel. Now on the back here, it does say, does it say that we need any interfacing or anything? It says you want fusible fleece. If you preferred to use soft and stable, I'm sure you could use the soft and stable as well, but it does call for the fusible fleece, and we indeed have the fusible fleece here at the store. So that is super fun. That panel is $14.99 for that panel, and you'll be able to make the Blastoff rocket mini backpack and spaceman stuffies. Kind of fun. All right. So, who loves the who thinks that the space stuff is super fun? All right. Not seeing any comments here. Are we still live over on YouTube, Frank? Yeah. All right. So next up, we are going to talk about the next panel. So the next panel that we have are block squares, and then we have some fun things we can do with that. So the block squares, and you really could just frame this out and have this be a quilt. This is also a yard, so these are approximate 12-inch squares. And let's see, which way do I walk? Do I walk this way? All right. Oh, so happy you got me back, Barb. Okay, so you have these 9 blocks here, and then also this super cool, these words in on the selvage edge that you could incorporate and do something fun with that. So, of course, we have a fun quilt that we can use that panel square for. So, the pattern that you would want to use with those, I mean, you could do a bunch of different things, but the Blastoff, so this is called Robots in Space, and we are getting this pattern in stock, and this is a super cute panel quilt that you just kind of courthouse steps with the little cornerstones in the corners there, so super cool. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to kit any of these that I'm showing you. And then talking more about the panels, or I'm sorry, more about the patterns that go along with this quilt, the beep, 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 which I have behind me, we would love to kit that up for you as well. So that pattern is coming in. It should be next week on that one as well. This pattern we have in stock, and we are planning on kitting this one. We are waiting for that missing piece in order to finish the kit on this one. We'll be able to put together a few of these. Super, super fun, and I really like how everything lifts off there. I think it's super cool. A little bit simpler of a quilt. Love this, these radiating stars that come out. So this particular quilt here, this is called Star Stacked. It's from Copper Kettle Quilting. And then this one here, this one's really nice. This is Jelly Squares. This is from Copper Kettle Quilting as well. So this is 2.5-inch strip friendly or charm pack or layer cake friendly. And it's really reminiscent of a quilt that we had from Doug Lico a few years ago in one of his books. But this is a square shape from it, so kind of fun, kind of cool, and easy to go together. So we'd be more than happy to make any of those into definitely get any of those into kits for you. Just let us know, and then we'll be probably sharing with you next week pricing on the kits as we're able to put them together. So super, super fun. We also have charms and jellies. Do we have layers of this one, Frank? So we just got the charms and jellies? Okay, just got the charms and jellies of this line because that's how we got them. All right, and then we will have the fat quarter bundles as soon as that 20th piece comes in. And Frank's just quadruple checking for us on our pre-cut situation. So super fun on that. All right, so next up we have, oh, this one's fun. So we have Polar Pals. So Polar Pals just came in today, I think. Yesterday or today? One of those, but we, so Frank cut our fat quarter pack that I'm going to show you today. So yay, Frank, for making that happen. They're fat quarters now. They are. So Frank was super helpful. He helped us cut off the pieces so that we had fabric to show for the show, because that's just really important. So thanks, Frank. So Polar Pals is a fun line from P&B, and it is just an in-house design. So we have, this has panel squares. So these are 9-inch approximate panel squares. Actually, it's probably a little bit smaller because this is a half yard. And I believe there are simply, well, I'm not sure exactly. I thought that there were, I need to count how many actual ones there are that are different. But these are really cool, and so we did chop them up so that they are in the 1/2-inch repeat to go in the little packs, so you can do different things with them. I have a quilt project inspiration for you, and there are 13 pieces in the line that we will take a peek at. So let's peek overhead at our Polar Pals. Oh my goodness. So no sharks, so we can't have our Shark Week, but you know, really, I was thinking about this. So it's Shark Week, I guess, on, what's that channel? The Discovery Channel, Shark Week. And I was looking around to see if we had any shark fabric, and we don't. But I think we have like 10 different narwhal fabrics, which is hilarious. So who would have thought, so 19 years ago, I would have never thought that I would have 10 narwhal fabrics in the store. So this is the all over. And then we have some cute little trees and this fun little star. Ooh, we're a little bright here. Let me see if I can make us a little less bright. Ooh, now we're super bright. Maybe not. Ah, what did I do to us? There we go. There we go. Now we're good. All right. So, have some sky and some trees. So this is the trees we have in a white background, a light blue background, and then we have the dark sky. Ooh, ah, and then we have our sky in that, and then a night sky. Ooh, ah. And for our stars, we have the white, we have this minty guy, we have a light blue, or maybe that's more of a silvery blue, then we have a light blue, and then we have a dark blue. And then we have sort of a scenic stacked in this denim-y blue, so super on trend denim-y blue. And then this really fun geometric piece. And I like how it brings in this beige here, so you could just add in a tonal beige. That would be super cool, okay? And some more grays or such, but this is definitely on trend color-wise. So what can you do with this collection? You can make a fun quilt, and I have a pattern I'm going to share with you that is free and downloadable from the P&B website, and you can see how they're using those panel squares. And the cool thing that I just want to point out with the panel square is that they have put those tiny frames on them. Let me see, can you see that? So the frames are on them built in, which is super, super nice. So if you had wanted to, you could cut them off and re-put them on, but I like how it's built in and you can use them. So this Frosty Friends quilt is a online downloadable pattern from P&B, and it is written by one of our dear designer friends in the quilt world, Lisa Swenson-Rubel. And I heard that Lisa Swenson is going to be speaking in the Milwaukee area a little bit later this year, so that's pretty cool. And there is that downloadable file for you. If you wanted us to do it up in a kit, we would be more than happy to do that. It takes, I think, a little bit of almost all of the fabrics, which is fun, but not just a fat quarter bundle. You need some special cuts to make that happen. We do have fat quarter bundles of this line available as well. All right.
Layer cakes for Blastoff were ordered, but it's back on.
Okay. So Frank just wanted us to know that in stock we have, for the Blastoff, going back to the Blastoff, we do have, we only have the charm packs and jelly rolls in stock, okay? So so Frank was just saying we ordered the layer cakes. We may or may not get them. Logistics continue to be fun, so we just continue to show and make you great fabrics, or great fabrics that come into the store. All right. Just never know, right? You never know. So next up, we are going to look at Polar Pal. No, this was Polar Pals. Moon? Which one do we have now? Midnight Moon. Can I have you take some stuff away, Frank? Thank you. All right, we are going to look at Midnight Moon. I'll see if I can get them on camera later. All right, so we have Midnight Moon by Andover. This one, I'll show you the quilt inspiration first. There is a free and downloadable pattern from the Andover website as well. And this one here, it's called Fanfare. I'll give you the link first, and now I'll show you the picture. Ooh, lots of half square triangles here. And so Midnight Moon, this is kind of a Halloween-y kind of fabric line, but it's super traditional. So you have some nice cheddars in here, and I could see it not being seasonal at all. But for those of you who do like the traditional fabrics as well as seasonal, this line is perfect for you. We do have fat quarter bundles ready. We can do half yard bundles as well, but we just did up fat quarter bundles, and this particular quilt is made with, do I have my fabric requirements? I'm just quick looking to see if this is a fat quarter friendly quilt. It is not. It is, it's a combination of 5/8, quarters, and eighths. So we would be more than happy to kit this for you as well if you were interested. And now let's take a peek at the actual fabrics. All right, let's peek overhead. So we have these traditional fabrics here. So this is a cream with some gray, and that would be a cheddar. I think they call this one the bat one. Oh, and then they're calling this ghosts, but really only if you were thinking about it being Halloween, would you see this as ghosts? Otherwise, it just would be an interesting shape. And then we have some, goes into like a stone. Really nice traditional palette. Ooh, ah. There are 24 fabrics in this line. The fat quarter bundle is $84. I love this one. These are little tiny bats in here. Super, super tiny. Super cute. And then we have, let's see here. Let's see. We might not be able to fit everything on the screen, but really fun. Oh, maybe these bats are my favorite. Oh. So this is like gray on black with little gold stars, and then a super cool plaid. So I think that's a really fun line. And this is Midnight Moon. It looks very Renee Nanaman-esque, but this is credited to the Andover in-house design team. So super, super fun. And that one does have that, oh, what does Sherry say? Sherry says that Carol Butsky says everyone needs at least one cheddar quilt. Very good. I think so too. So everybody, you need to get this whole collection to have a cheddar quilt. Yes. And, ooh, ah. Very, very fun. So that is Midnight Moon. What else do I have to show you? I have lots. Okay, so I don't know, we haven't met for a little bit. So we got in Winter Friends, and I know we talked about Winter Friends, but I don't think I had the bundle to be able to show you, nor did I have the wide backs to show you, I don't think. And if I did, well, we're going to see them again. How does that sound? All right, so we are going to take a peek at Winter Friends, which is the latest Deb Strain line, which is traditional mode of Christmas. It goes really well with Deb Strain's previous lines, the red and black with the Christmas green. It's just so pretty. Let's look at some pictures for design inspiration first. I know we looked at these because we had this early. So we have one of the patterns is, so this one here is a lavender and lime. This is fast panel. And this fast panel pattern is actually super cool because it really could work with so many different panels. And so you have some half square triangles on the borders, and then the center panel framed out. This particular panel has the panel squares on the sides, in the corners there, so you use that. That one is there. That fast panel pattern is $14, and we have it in stock. Then we have the Friends of the Forest, and this is available to be made in either the dark or light background, but I'm showing it here in the black background. We would be more than happy to kit this up for you. This is a Coach House Designs pattern, and it is $11. The pattern finishes 60 by 72. Then we have this one, which is very similar but a little different. This is Among Friends by Coach House Designs, and this one is available for $11. It finishes 61 by 75. Once again, we'd be more than happy to kit it up for you. And it could be kitted with the white background or the black background. And then not using the panel or doing anything fussy, this is Winter Stars by Coach House Designs. And this uses a layer cake as well as some additional yardage. So I love on here how you have like the two different kind of stars with the star and the star. I think it gives it a really fun pop, design pop. So I think that's really cool. This particular quilt finishes 58 by 66, and this pattern is $11. The patterns should be available in our collection that appears at the top of our show page. Let's take a peek at the fabrics and then we will look at the panels a little bit closer. Okay, so let's take a peek overhead. So we have the cardinals, gotta love cardinals. And we have fun little background, love the snowflake, trees, cardinals in birdhouses. This is a little bit more of a scenic here. So you have snowmen and trees and birds and birdhouses. This is modeled, so it's a near solid. We saw this in Deb's Lake timeline. Now we have pine cones with some greenery. Snowmen every which way. Some more snowflakes. This is the tonal with the taupey background, or the scenic with the taupey background. We have a plaid, white snowflake on red, snowmen on red. Love this print. There's a nice little tight repeat there, kind of Scandinavian-ish. Trees, and here's that mottled solid again. Trees and snowflakes. Plaid, cardinals, mottled solid. Ooh, very striking. Look at that. Here we go. Oh, and then we have this scenic with the black background as well. This is very striking, very dramatic. Would be a great border. Okay, so the panel that we have, the panel is a 24-inch repeat panel, and it has the center motif with the 4 squares in the corners. Let's see. Come this way? Nope, this way. I'm reverse, so it's really hard looking at the screen, seeing which way do I go, which way do I go? So friends make the season merry, super fun. This could make great pillows, you could just frame it out. I could even see if you had a jelly roll, that if you took the jelly roll and literally just made strips, so you know this is what, 40, 42. So if you literally just did, you could either just strip them, or if you had wanted to, make a jelly roll race quilt and like splice it and put the panel in the center of it. That could be super fun. Ooh, I like that idea. So that one is with the black, the dramatic black background, and then we do have the very elegant white background. Or off-white, it's actually more of an off-white here. But same design, just different background. So we have all the pre-cuts on this. Well, we have the charms, jellies, and layers in this collection, as well as fat quarter bundles and a half-yard bundle as well. Please let us know if you're interested in having any of these patterns kitted. We'd be more than happy to put those together for you. I know that there's a few of you watching that we've recently kitted for you, and hopefully that's worked out well and you are well into your project. We love to be able to help you get exactly what you need for the projects, and sometimes it makes sense for you to call, message, or such ahead of time. Of course, we love to see you, but sometimes to put the kits together, it takes a little bit of time to be able to pull and cut the fabric. So we always are happy to do that for you. All right, let me check on the comments here. I've just been blabbering away. Ooh, Winter Friends. Ooh, ooh, Mary's working on the Winter Friends now. And Friends of the Forest. So Mary's working on the Friends of the Forest, which is this one now. Super fun. Super, super, super fun. All right. And yes, lots of great stuff. Lots of great stuff tonight. All right. Let's put this aside. Frank, I'm going to have you come over and grab a little bit of fabric away from me so I don't spill it everywhere. Here you go. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have some new timeless novelty that I'm going to share with you. So this just came in today, so I didn't have time to share with all of our Nomi friends yet. So we'll be calling all of our Nomi friends if you're not watching today. We'll be calling you so that you could see it. And we have a couple of new fun patterns. So let me grab those from the cart. All right, super fun. So this is called Hippie Gnomes. So Hippie Gnomes in the Garden. Super fun, Hippie Gnomes in the Garden. And you can see here that our little gnomes are wearing patchwork clothes and oversized dresses. Look at that. Fun quilted coats. Well, I would just call this quilty people in the forest. Yeah, quilty people in the forest. And then there's little foxes and deer and butterflies and mushrooms. And then we have the hippie gnomes. That's what they're called, stacked. They call this stacked because they're all stacked together in one direction. So this would be a scenic and this would be a stacked. And then when they're every which way, they would call that tossed. So that is the novelty fabric lingo of the day. Super fun. And then because it's all about the fun tie-dye stuff, Timeless did come out with this really fun tie-dye print here. So this is a digital print, which is super vibrant and exciting. And so that's a really great tie-dye here, which they released with the gnomes, but of course you can use it independent of the gnomes. So I know this particular fabric is not going to last long. I know I showed you a dragonfly a few weeks ago from Timeless, and that like went out the door in like two days. It was so quick. So I can see that I think this tie-dye rainbow is gonna go pretty quick too. So if you're interested, make sure you scoop it up sooner than later. But that one is super fun. All right. Then we have, before I hop into other fun rainbow things, I do have to share that we got another football piece. And I know we're not really thinking football right now, although did training camp just start, Frank? Okay, training camp just started. So it's perfect time to start planning your football quilt for this season. So we got in another football. This is a newer design. So this is the footballs on the field. And then we do have another football print or two over in the novelty area. Okay. So, I'm looking back at our comments, is the Winter Friends a pieced center or panel? So let's just take a peek back at the quilt. So Among Friends has the panel as the center, and Friends of the Forest has a, it has the combination, but the building there is pieced, okay? So Friends of the Forest is a pieced house or cabin, big lodge in there, but it's still using the panel pieces. So the entire panel is used in both of these, and I would say that the Among Friends would be the less intense piecing, okay? All right. Oh, and Deb wants to know, do I have any quilt ideas for the tie-dye rainbow? And I actually don't. It's one of those things that I can see it just flying out the door before I even need to show you what to do with it. So, of course, you can do, oh, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Thanks so much for chiming in. So, it would make a great back. It would make a great bag. It would make great big squares. If you were making alternating squares of something, it would make a great border. Definitely something where you're going to see a lot of the fabric would be super great. I don't think there was anything, I'll check, but I don't think that there was any pattern inspiration in the Timeless for this particular one. So, but if we still have this next week, I for sure will be able to dig up some pattern inspiration for this one, because we do have this pattern in a blue as well that we got in a week or so ago. So that is in the store, but the same scale, just a different coloration of the same print. All right. Now I have, so we are going to talk about some Tim Holtz kits that we just finished putting together. So we have some fun stuff here. I'm going to peek overhead. And this one here, so we have the Scrap Petal Garden that we did up a couple different ways. And this was a custom request, but we had to make two because of how we cut it. And so I'm going to show you a picture of this. This is super fun. We had one version of this quilt in the store for the trunk show that we had at the end of May. And so it features the Cabin in the Woods Scrap Petal Garden pattern, which is a very eclectic quilt that features, well, it's this pattern. I can show that basically you have squares that you applique petals on top of. It's very versatile. You can do a lot of different things with it. We do have the specialty nested petal template in here, where there are two different size petals included in the tool. The tool's only $12, which is actually a crazy value for an acrylic template of this nature, which is great to have a nice affordable piece. And we do have the pattern separately available as well. It's called Scrap Petal Garden, and it's super fun. So this is a monochrome garden quilt kit. So it has the monochrome from Tim Holtz with abandon 1 and 2 as the petals. So super fun on that. The quilt kit is $189.99 and the quilt finish is 68 square. So you would need 4.5 yards of backing in order to make it. And I have one available, okay? But this pattern right here is super versatile. And for the background squares, it calls for 1/4 yard of 16 prints or 64 10 by 10 squares or various 9-inch squares of scraps. So really, really versatile. If you have a bunch of fat 1/8 packs, let's say you were in the Motor Club for a year or two and you have a bunch of fat 1/8 packs, this would be great that you could just put a whole bunch of things together, and literally it's Scrap Petal Garden. So you could have a scrappy background and then have calming petals, or you could do it where you have calm background, like a low volume background, like I showed you in that picture, with then all sorts of scrappy petals. And then there's also a version that's shown on the back of this quilt where it's just tons and tons and tons of petals, which is super fun. And then on the Cabin in the Woods YouTube channel, they have a whole bunch of videos about how to put this together. But really, really simple. You can just do this with simple fusible web adhesive style applique. Of course, if you had wanted to, you could do needle turn or something else. But for the simplest option, do your fusible web adhesive and then pick up some monofilament thread and just do it quick zigzag around the edge. It goes together super quick and be fun little piece to finish up and quilt up and have fun playing with all the different fabrics. All right, so that is Scrap Petal Garden. Then we have the Ripples, which is the teal. Apparently, I didn't upload a picture to the website, so nobody got to see what this was. This quilt is right here, and I'm going to, I think I have a picture that I can show you on screen here. I think I saved it on screen, but I have to update the website because I was really surprised that I had a no picture quilt kit up there. So this is a 70 by 80. You have some gentle curves in here, and this is the exclusive pattern from the Tim Holtz Palette Club, but featuring the teal palette. It requires 5 yards of backing for your back, and it's an intermediate skill level with featuring curved piecing. So kind of fun, kind of weird, and yes, those are ovals. So the ovals are actually a little bit easier to piece than perfect circles because you have a little bit more forgiveness there with things not turning out quite absolutely symmetric or such. So if you are wanting to try your hand at a fun curved quilt, this could be your option. Then we have just put together 2 Halloween quilts featuring the neutral palette and the Tim Holtz seasonal Halloween palette. So we have the Little Witch quilt, and let me get a picture for you for that. This is a really fun little pattern. So the pattern is designed by Jennifer Long of Sew a Story, and she is a designer from Canada. And this was quite the feat getting the patterns in the US because apparently there's some sort of like postal strike or something going on in Canada. So we finally have the patterns in stock. We have the patterns available separately as well. But this particular quilt kit is 65 by 73. So the Little Witch isn't quite so little, but it's super fun. And I just love that kind of palette that goes along with it. And the background in the quilt is the Halloween seasonal background. And I love this fabric. If you like Tim Holtz and you love the kind of his look, this fabric right here is super, super cool. He has one for the Halloween theme. He has one for the Christmas theme. And we ordered a bunch more, and it's just super fun. I love it. This quilt kit is $139.99. And then we have the Witch's Hat, which is the same palette, same designer. Let me get you this photo so you can see what this looks like a little bit better. So this one here, Witch's Hat, there's some applique flowers on it, which just make it super fun and dainty. And, you know, there's a lot of different Halloween hat quilts out there, but I thought this one was super unique because of those applique flowers on it. And this particular quilt, this is $169.99. It measures 62 by 79 and requires 5 yards for your backing as well. The border is the super limited Halloween collage print. And we did order more of that in stock, so we have it in stock, but I love that. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. it's just super, it's stuck right there, but we have it on the bolt. We have all the things back in stock. We had sold out right away. There are only 5 new Halloween prints released this year. We did get in as many as we could of his previous lines, like from Laboratory and some other ones. There's a really cool Halloween themed plaid that I love that we got back in stock. Super awesome. And then for the blue and indigo palettes that are just coming out now, we have a huge order coming in so that we're going to be kitting up the blue and indigo palette patterns. I'm not going to show them to you at the moment since I don't have the kits ready, but if you've been waiting for them and you didn't already tell me, send me a note, because we're going to be making a lot of these kits because a lot of them have been spoken for. So I want to make sure that you're included. We'll have a couple extra, but I know it's going to go quick. So we'll talk about those as we get those ready. All right. Oh, Wendy wants to go back and talk about how big is the repeat on the tie-dye fabric and thinking about it for pouches. Good question. So the tie-dye pouches here, or the, Frank, can you hand me a ruler? So you can see here with my hand how it is, and then he's just going to hand me a ruler so that we can, a yardstick. He's being very specific, very particular. So I would say it is a, well, depending on how with the repeat, it might be just a, like an 8-inch repeat. So those rounds are 8-inch around, okay? And it is nested, so depending on how you look at, I'm not quite sure what, but it's not a 24-inch repeat or anything like that. So center of dot to center of dot is 8 inches. Okay. Oh, and how much did you want? How much to buy? 10 yards. Oh, here we go. So what would I recommend? Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so I'm not trying to be super, as I'm like smiling here. So here's the deal that was kind of like a back in the day sort of thing. So back in the day, the wisdom was 3 yards if you don't know what you're going to do with it and you want to be able to do something with it is a good rule of thumb, okay? So what can you do with 3 yards? Well, 3 yards could back a small lap quilt. It could be a border. Like a lot of times you need like 1.5 yards to 2 yards for a border and then incorporate it into the center. Or you could then have enough to use in your project, but then still have enough left over to use in another project. 3 yards, you could, well, you could triple the size of your 3-yard quilt, right? But really, if you loved a fabric, didn't quite know what you wanted to do with it, 3 yards is not a crazy number. So that's something I know a lot of times we're just buying 1 yard or something if we love a fabric, and that's fine, but what can you do with 1 yard? You can't make a border on a quilt with 1 yard. So that's the reality talk of it. I mean, so of course buy the bolt, but no. 3 yards really is, and anybody else chime in if you think that's a reasonable thing, but back in the day, that was always what my quilty friends said when we would go to different quilt shops. So when they were teaching me all about fabric accumulation, they were sharing about the rationale behind the 3 yards. Okay. So then what else? What else can I show you? Okay, I have a few new patterns. Well, they're not new, but they're new to us that we got in that I want to share. So it's just general new stuff that is at the bottom of our show page. So something I'm really excited about. So Stitch Supply, which is a delightful quilt shop in northern Wisconsin, they have partnered with a Ruby Star Society and have come out with a bunch of different webbings, which we have ordered a bunch of, and we got one so far, yay. So this is a 1.5" webbing. It's a woven webbing, and I'm going to do the overhead camera so you can see it. So unlike a ribbon here, it is a two-sided, okay, so you can see woven, really, really nice. And this is some sort of synthetic blend. I don't have the blend in front of me, but what I like as well is that this is a reasonable price point. So this is $6.96 a yard, and it's 1.5 yards wide, so you could use it for a nice sturdy briefcase or backpack handle, tote bag handle. Super cool. This one goes along with the strawberry line. This coloration would also go really well with some tulip pink stuff or just other fun fabrics. And we do have other webbings on order. So like Frank says, the rule always is I can order in whatever, but I can only order more when we sell through some stuff. So if I totally missed the mark on getting in some stuff, let me know what I need to be getting instead. As I said, for the webbing, I ordered a bunch of other designs, but this is the one that came in first. So I just had to show that to you. Then we have a bunch of different glam bag pouches that have come in from Moda, a bunch of great different designs, and these don't last super long in the store. So these are $9.99 a piece, have a nice zipper and are great gift giving things. So you'll want to check out those. Starry, the new colors of 2025, we have currently in the mini charms and the charm packs. The jelly rolls are coming, and the fabric yardage, Frank, should be here for Starry. Okay, so it'll be in by next show, cross your fingers, and then we'll be making half yard and fat quarter bundles. Let us know if you need yard bundles. I know it's going to be super exciting. We are getting all the colors, and I'm just really excited about it. Frank, how many colors are in there? Do you have that invoice in front of you? So one of the fun ones here that I think is super cool is that this is like an homage to Wicked here. So you have that Wicked Witch, or you have the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch colors. Really fun. And so you have some minis in here, but mostly large stars. Super fun. Look at that. Okay. 21 colors coming with this collection. All right. And other fun patterns that are here. So with the Starry quilt, this particular quilt, I'm going to show you, this is from Alexia Marcel Abeg, and she has it available in a baby throw queen and king. I'm going to show you the picture a little bit better to see it. This is the cream oh nope, that's a different one. This is the cream background, and this is the dark background. And so depending on how you put it together here, so that's pretty fun. And then Star Pop 2, we got more of that. This has been such a popular quilt here, been hard to keep in stock, and I love this as well because this fits baby through king. And then we got some more kitchen table quilting patterns in. So we got the Verity quilt, the Diana quilt, and the Zoe quilt. We have a couple more coming in. Then Granny Patch. This one's super fun from Lo and Behold Stitchery. All different sized. And then to go along with our strawberry theme, we still have a bunch of strawberry fabric in. We got in the Elizabeth Hartman strawberry pattern that has a pillow, a lap quilt, and a picnic quilt. So super fun on that one as well. All right. Oh, love going to Stitch Supply. Yes, going to Stitch Supply. I've never had the privilege of going up there yet, so that's on my to-do list. All right. So next up, we are going to talk about, ooh, I just have to show you, I've been keep on telling you that we have more stuff coming that we keep ordering. It's so much fun shopping for fabric, and I love shopping for fabric for you as well. So we had the opportunity to reorder the last little bits of the Shop Hop fabric from Clothworks. So we are already out of the stamps, but we did get in, I think we have everything but the focus prints and the panel. So I'm just showing you here the blue and yellow ones, but we have these here, okay? And we do have the red and creams as well. But I do want to give you the opportunity, if anybody needed our little sample flimsy centerpiece here, we're all out of our strip sets, and if anybody needed this, let me know. We're selling our top for $30. So give me a holler if you needed this, all pieced and ready to go, and we can hook you up. I know people. All right. So while I was ordering from Clothworks those extra pieces to fill in along the way, I noticed that they had some really good things that they had put on clearance. And so I had to scoop up some deals for you. So let's take a peek overhead at some of those. And this is just a small selection. So Meigs and Me has some fun Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So I think this line is called Goldie. There were some really cute winter fun things. So keep in mind when I find things over at the manufacturers, I don't have access to full lines of things, but when there are coordinating things, I like to get them, like the Clothworks, like the Dan DePaulo Christmas thing. So I have a few of these cute little guys and in the sale room. Some fun little pollinators. You can always use pollinators. And then there's this Cheers line that has some great grapes. It's really dark fabric, so it's hard to see there, but I love this wine glass. It has the different wine glasses here and different descriptions of them. This border print here would make a super cool 60-degree table runner, or you could, have some rectangle of the wine, the grapes, and then just border it out very simply as a rectangular table topper. So that could be super cool. And then we have some fun pinks and gray floral that I have to share with you. And kind of fun. So this is Lil Bunny. So these were from the Goldilocks one, but this is Lil Bunny. So you can see the cute little bunny in the middle of a daisy field here. Here's more bunny. And then this flower here, what's super cute about him is that the flower is made up of tiny bunnies. So this is the daisy circle, and these are tiny, tiny little bunnies. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's so cute. It's just so cute. And these are available for $8.96 a yard in the sale room. And then this is a gray bunny that look like flowers. Super, super cute. And this is the Meigs and Me as well. So those are that's just a highlight of the Clothworks pieces. And then I got in some from in the beginning. I was ordering some more Halcyon tonals. Some of those are back ordered, but they did ship because I saw some other good deals there, so I had to order a few. And some of them were sold out, but 5 really amazing pieces came. And these are really pretty. So this is called Sew Spring, S-E-W, Spring. So you can see these gorgeous florals here. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. These are rainbow florals. And then we have a rainbow vine. Ooh, ah. And then this great dot concentric circle there. And then a fun blender. We have a pretty significant Andover order that is going to be coming in soon that will help restock the sale room as well. It's been a challenge trying to keep that room filled, so we are doing our best trying to keep it filled with some really good looking fabrics at great prices for you so that you can just have fun sewing to your heart's desire. All right, so that's what I got today. That is what I got. And let's see. So Barb, the Stitch Supply is a local quilt shop that is located in northern Wisconsin, and she has partnered with members of Ruby Star, and she has her own webbing. So we have some here, and then we had some webbing in from her for a few months that is just more of a stripe. So if you like making purses and things, we're starting to get some things that are distributed by her that she has taken on the challenges of importing and distributing some really cool, fun stuff that we're then able to share with you as well. All right. And awesome, awesome, awesome. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Remember, we do have a bundle of the week that I'm just going to show overhead again in case if you tuned in later in the show. This is a repeat of the couple of bundles that we had left from last week because we weren't live last week, but we made sure we had a bundle of the week. And so since we didn't sell out, I took advantage of being able to show that to you live since we didn't show it in a show. So I'm going to show you that. And then I'm also going to end with a link for our show page if you didn't have the opportunity of seeing that yet. So this particular piece here by Dan DePaulo, who's a local Wisconsin designer, was our inspiration piece. And then in his collection, we were able to snag that and this and this. And then we just kind of rounded it out with fun things. So we had some fun creams, some fun reds, and some fun greens. And that is our Patchworks exclusive bundle of the week that we have to share with you. I'd like to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with us. We are in the store Tuesday through Saturday. Tuesday through Friday, we are here 9:30 to 5:30. Saturday, we're here 9 to 4. We are closed on Sunday and Monday. However, our online store is available 24/7. Until next time, happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.